Hello, my friends. 3KO Games here. It is Tuesday, May 14th, and we have some very important updates to talk about. I will try to do them all in one video. We have Master Talents now live and a Hero Balance update now live. Let's go into the Hero Balance first. Here, that is affecting a whole lot of heroes here, especially because it's affecting a whole lot of families. Let's go in and see that. The Gargoyle family's soft skin passive is now changed from just resisting mana reductions, which was, a nice thing, to now reducing damage received by the hero by 90%. You attack a hero with soft skin, they're going to get 10% of that damage, and that's it. Plus, they resist all status ailments and mana reduction. So we keep the mana reduction resist in there. Add resist status ailments and damage down by 90%. That affects Garten and Pop Hit so far, and then we will see very shortly what new gargoyles we're talking about that might have this soft skin passive. Like these new gargoyles needed a buff, right? Okay, so now in particular for the two heroes, Garten gets the counterattack removed, which is kind of a downgrade. The old special counterattacked, and then you get boosted health from 50% of that counterattack damage, which is pretty nice. They're taking away the counterattack now and just boosting health of all allies by 700. Slightly disappointing, but once you've got the soft skin for all allies except the caster received soft skin. Interesting. Okay. It kind of balances out. I don't know. Some people that have Garten might be upset about no counterattack, but everybody having soft skin, I mean, counterattack is one thing, but only taking 10% of the damage is pretty great. And then we have some stats increased for Garten as well. About 40 on each level, except health for nice 123, something like that. Okay. Pop Hit also gets stats increased for about 40, and then 122. Okay. We have updates for the Investigator and Cultist families for all of us in the very, very top tiers that managed to pull some of those secret heroes, right? The insanity cannot be cured by healing from status effects, passive skills, minions, or other secondary sources. Interesting. And then we have a slight buff to Melancholia. I'm going to be honest, everybody, I still don't get the whole insanity thing totally. I mean, I get it, like, for one attack, it becomes an attack on yourself, or one buff, it becomes a buff on them. But as far as how the numbers work, revived ally insanity reduced to 50, insanity inflicted on self reduced to 55. Okay, sure, great. Owl family finally get a passive skill. Mana increase reduction reduces the amount of mana increased by such special skills by 80%. So if you're bringing in some heroes against some owls that have a mana boost, I don't know, Guardian Hippo, somebody, or maybe just like a hero that just gives them some mana. That mana generation boost, or the overall just immediate boost of mana, is going to be reduced by 80%. It's an interesting passive. We haven't seen that quite yet, and I don't think that boosting mana was the counter to what the owls did. So curious about their thinking, but they didn't have a passive, and now they have this. Varus gets a buff with up to 200 more damage from his Moonrise Strike, a slight buff in stats, and bleed damage increased due to this attack stat increase very slightly there. Mariol, the healer with the damage reduction ward, that damage reduction is increased to negative 700, and we have a stat increase. Also a stat increase for Livia by 40, almost 50 on attack and defense, and a big sizable increase in health. Okay, Sun and Moon families in Season 5 in the Dunes families. If you have a costume for one of those, and I just finished Cleopatra costume, so yay, something that affects me in a positive way. This costume bonus is going to increase. It was 13, 13, 21, and now it's 16, 16, 25. I was really thrilled with the Cleopatra costume bonus in the first place, and now those stats are going to get even stronger, so thanks. I'm going to make costume Hathor even harder to face. If you have a costume in the Underwild family, they will also get an increase in their costume bonus from 13, 13, 24, and 5 to 17, 17, 26, and 5. So a slight increase. Sand Empire costumes. You don't see a lot of people using those Sand Empire family heroes. Maybe Rock. But huge costume bonus increase from 5, 5, 10, and 5 to 15, 15, 20, and 5. So congratulations if you have any of those Sand Empire family heroes with their costume. Bow and Runt, the current hero of the month, has an increased element link duration, is going from 3 turns to 6 turns like the rest of the heroes of the month. Okay, fine. Toon Gormek. This isn't really a buff. It's just a correction. They took away Gormek's original card, Defense Down, when they came out with the Toon and said, no, you're going to get Attack Down. And nobody liked that. So they're replacing that Attack Down with a Defense Down, like it should have been in the first place. So, okay, thank you. Heroes of the Month. A couple Heroes of the Month are getting a slight increase. Alassie and Alassie costume. Hooray! That affects me. I'm happy about that. Getting a 30% increase in direct damage. That's great. Clarissa. Nobody uses Clarissa anymore, and I don't think anybody will start now. 20% increase in direct damage and 60 HP increase in poison damage over 2 turns. Yang Mai. They've tried to buff Yang Mai a couple times, and no, she's just not having it. Direct damage increased from 310 to 340%. Stacking attack buff increased from 5 to 6%. Ooh. And then Suzuna heal over time increased 600 to 750 HP over 3 turns. So anyway, there are a few adjustments and improvements and updates and that kind of stuff to some Heroes of the Month. But the big thing really here is some of these costume bonuses, and then the new stuff to Owl Family and to Garten and Poppet. Great. We also have Master Talents now live. Okay, so you click on this free icon. It's the old experience offer on one side. You grab your trainer heroes on the bottom there. And then we get generous tribute. You're going to choose one class over the next 3 days. So you have a little while to think about it. Almost 4 days here. Choose one class to get 500 regular emblems and 50 master class emblems. You will receive free hero emblems. This special one-time gift only includes emblems and master emblems for one class of your choice. You can change the selection at any time before claiming the emblems. So take your time, everybody. Think about this. I don't have the answer for myself yet, but here are some of the things that I'm thinking. Breathing new life into older heroes. Obacon 2 is not really that much of an older hero, but he was my favorite tank for a long time, and he's fallen out of fashion just a little bit. So, as it is, Superior Revive 35%, plus 35% chance to revive at the end of the turn, and this character gains 50% mana. Let's take a look at what happens if you level him up 5 more times. You're going to get plus 7% chance to revive at the end of the turn. So I assume that's 7 plus 35, right? So we're at a 42% chance to revive. But I don't think you get to add the other 50% to this. I don't think we can say, like, the original Superior Revive was 50% mana, so we can't just add, and now it's 100% mana. That would be amazing. So I think that's still just 50% mana, but you add an extra 25% attack for 2 turns. So a little bit more chance to revive, a little bit more attack. Plus, you're going to get almost every class just has these choices as emblem nodes. Attack by 50, attack by 50, health by 50, attack by 50, health by 50. I think the defenses are 60. Yeah, so those are your choices. If you go all sword, you're going to increase attack by 150. If you go all defense, you're going to increase defense by 180. And then it depends on this superior master talent, if that's the one you want. What I don't like about this, let's just go in, take a look at like Dark Feather, for example. 15% chance to summon a Thorn minion. That Druid talent is not great. And now what are we doing for Superior talent? We are adding plus 3% chance to activate that Thorn minion. Thorn minion is a little bit stronger, but now you have a 18% chance to activate to summon a Thorn minion. Woohoo, I guess. So some of these classes, you're not doing this just for the master talent. You're doing this for the added stats, right? And I know when people were talking about these master emblems coming out, people said, hey, why can't we just bring in the regular emblems? Make us use the regular emblems instead of like introducing this brand new emblem that we have to go chase now. Don't worry, they're going to have you use your regular emblems as well. So, back to this free portal. You choose, you're going to get 500, which seems very generous, and 50 of the masterclass emblems. But if we go in and say I'm going to choose Shay Zijing, one of my strongest heroes anyway, and I'm going to say, yes, let's level her up 5 more times. We are using 100 of these class emblems, of the regular class emblems, plus 10 of the master class emblems for each node. So all of that bonus that they're giving you right now is going to get sucked up right away. They're giving you basically a free bonus, quote unquote, to level up one hero 5 nodes. They are not giving you the food and the iron, though. 600k at each node. So we're talking about we need another 3,000k food and iron to make this happen. Let's just take a look at one other hero that I would slightly consider, And that's June, whose talent now is a 50% chance to resist status ailments. Of course, he's a toon, so that just happens anyway. If status ailments are resisted, the following effects also activated. This character deals 100% damage. Go into the talent grid, and we have a plus 10% chance to resist status ailments. Since he's already 75% resisting status ailments, does that mean now we have, with the talents, there's 60% of the remaining 25% chance to resist status ailments? And then, if this character deals 100% damage and cleanses the newest status ailment from this character, he's not going to get a status ailment? I mean, it's very unlikely that he gets a status ailment, so maybe that's not what I want to do here. Although, his stats are really strong already at Limit Break 1, could be fun to just pad his attack even more. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to go with the Masterclass emblems, but that's kind of how it works. Let me know if you have questions about it, if you have answers about it. And remember, you've got a couple days to make this decision. So be thoughtful, take your time, read up in the forums, watch some other YouTubers' videos. I'm sure some more people will have some great thoughts about this as well. But there we go, Masterclass emblems and a hero balance update on this lovely May Tuesday. Thank you for tuning into the video, everybody, as always, and we'll see you next time.